Hello, 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 everyone. Hello. Welcome back to episode 5. We are on episode 5 already of our Teachings with Jesus little series we're doing, or who knows what it is we're doing here, but it's all about navigating this evolution with the teachings of Jesus and navigating it with Jesus, understanding what's this all about, this flooding of Jesus all of a sudden on the planet. And what's he here to share with us? What's he here to remind us? Uh, and sharing my stories, sharing how I have been navigating him, sharing how what he is sharing with me, with all of you. And it's been a wild ride the last 4 days. I'm not going to lie. It's been a wild ride. I will share the details kind of later. I'm not ready to share the details of what sort of experiences the last 4 days have been. But what I wanted to share today, first of all, thank you for being here. Thank you for coming along on the ride. Um, Teachings with Jesus, I don't know. It just feels right to me right now. It feels real. It feels alive. It feels like the only thing that matters in my teachings. And so here we are. Happy to have you here. I am going to be going live quite often, randomly, not on schedule. So if you are liking these and you want to keep listening, please subscribe to the channel and then hit the little notification button. And hopefully, fingers crossed, you will be notified when I go live. I just moved into a new place, so we are still waiting for my background. It's frustrating me that it's all clear, but we got stuff coming. We got stuff coming. So what do I want to share today? I want to talk about conviction for a moment. In fact, I want to bring up the definition of conviction. So give me a second. It's very, very important. Conviction. Not convicting a criminal. uh when you have conviction. Okay. So when you have conviction, when you're holding conviction over something, right? I have conviction. Holding a firm, unshakable belief or a deep, unwavering moral principle. Strong certainty, confidence, a passion in one's opinion or actions. Often displayed through dedicated behavior, conviction. So the last couple of days, I have, I wish I'm going to go back to a different thought that just popped in. I really wish that what I want to do is share more of my story around uh, the deep work that I've been doing with Jesus. But I'm going to save that for another video because it's going to make sense a little bit more as to what I'm talking about today. But let me just sum up, if you're brand new here, that I have been, for the last, since August, I have been sitting daily, if not, I mean, and each day hourly with Jesus, integrating this holy light into my body, learning from him, and writing a book with him. Um, I've committed my whole life to this walk with him right now, with the overarching lens of the evolutionary shift in consciousness, the understanding that we are in some sort of game, some sort of matrix that's been taken over, and also understanding, based on the book that I wrote, The Divine Design, how this whole thing was actually created and designed, how Earth created her experiment and all this other stuff that's very quantum and big perspective. So I find myself now walking with Jesus, learning from Jesus, teaching things that Jesus wants to share with the world. And it's a very different path than I imagined myself being on. Um, Very different. The teachings are much more simple in a way, even though there is complexity to their integration. They're much more simpler than the complex sort of quantum spaces that I loved to dissect and play in. Um, and so it's been difficult for me, very, very challenging. There's no doubt about it. There's no pretending that this has been easy. Um, and every once in a while, I find myself in these really beautiful, blissful, dare I say, blissful, kind of high spaces with Jesus where I can feel him literally like vibrating in my body. I can feel him speaking to me literally inside of me. I feel him as if he is me. And also what comes with that is really intense attacks, really intense attacks. And I don't think this happens to everyone, and I don't think that everyone is on this path to have those attacks, right? But they do happen to me every once in a while. And I'm sharing this today because it has everything to do with conviction. So, when I was really severely attacked the last 4 days from different angles, it pulls me out of my conviction. It it pulls me out of my alignment with that passion of like, oh, this is absolute truth. What I'm here to do, what I'm listening to with Jesus, what I'm sharing it's it's not just me wanting to do this. There's a bigger piece here, right? And I have a conviction. In fact, last week when I started this show, this series, I think I even used the word I have a conviction in me, right? Like there was just this passion in me and I was convicted and I was just ready to go and I just wanted to start, sharing all about this. And then 2 days later, I get, really pretty severely attacked energetically, and, it's not shadow work, it's not to teach me something, it's not, to integrate light into dark, all those fancy things we like to say. It's literally an attack. It's quite simply an attack, and these attacks are designed to, pull me out of, this work. So, um, I had all these different ways of this attack to come in, mostly through the mind. Sort of one of them was from somebody else, a good friend of mine, and it's to create confusion. It creates a feeling of not being in alignment with your truth. So you feel vulnerable, you feel weak almost, you feel scared. You wanna search for external, you're like, "Oh my god, somebody help me, somebody fix this, somebody tell me what's going on." Um, there's an unstableness in a way. It's the opposite of, like, what God feels like when God's integrated into your body. It's the complete opposite. Complete opposite, and, um, you question everything. I feel alone. I'm like, "Where is God?" I was just like I was just high off God for the last, however long, and, it felt like, it was scary, definitely scary, um, because it feels like you've lost sort of what you had or it's gone. And what I had isn't even me, right? It's this holy light that comes in and it's showing me the natural way that we're designed to be on this planet. It's God coming into form. It's God breathing through me. It's God speaking through me. It's God, the essence, the tangible, physical, palpable essence of God. Um, and the more I think that I personally am feeling this and it's becoming more and more integrated into my body, perhaps I'll get attacked more. I don't know. I'm hoping not. But it's possible. And that's just the way it is. Again, this isn't going to happen to you necessarily, right? But this happened. And um, so I woke up this morning and I kind of cleared my schedule for the most part. And I sat down in my office here. I shut the door, lit the candles, I closed the curtains, and I was just in this cave, just this dark cave in a way, and just held in the arms of Jesus, and just immediately when I closed my eyes, I felt him right in front of me, like so palpably. I could touch him almost, it felt like, right? And he said, "Do you see me?" And I said, "Yeah." He goes, "Do you feel me?" And I said, "Yeah." And he goes, "Do you believe that I'm real?" And I said, "Yeah." And um he said, "Relax. Like just relax for a moment. Just breathe. Everything's okay. Just breathe." And I said, "What was that all about? Like what just happened?" And he said, "Conviction." Jesus speaks in very few words sometimes, right? Conviction. I need you, this is what he said to me. I need you to have full conviction in me. I'm sharing this story with you guys because full conviction in Jesus also can mean full conviction in God. And full conviction in God means full conviction in your true divinity. And what that means is that the entire way in which this world has created the way that we experience ourselves, our identity, our behaviors, the way we see success and love and all that stuff is not our true divinity. It's flipped upside down. It's going the wrong direction. And so when Jesus says to me, full conviction in me, what he's saying to all of us is full conviction in our divinity. That no matter what someone tries to say to you about who you are or what you should do or what your mind says to you can't have that. You don't deserve that. You need to heal more. You need to fix this. You're never going to get to be that or this. You're going to be in pain forever. Where is the conviction in God? Conviction again is this undeniable, let's read it, okay? Because I think it's important. Call me crazy. Holding a firm. So I want you to imagine what I'm speaking of. For me, it was Jesus saying this. But for you, I want you to imagine it's God, which is your divinity as well, right? Your divine, pure, living authentic expression of not the persona of you, the God essence of you, right? Your natural state, your natural way of being on this planet. So holding conviction in that, which is holding a firm, unshakable belief, a deep, unwavering principle, like an absolute knowingness that how your mind is telling you to be is not true. So I had all these attacks coming in the last 4 days. Horrific, horrific attacks. And it was almost impossible to hold the conviction that I was safe, that I was okay, that I was not those thoughts. It took over. And I could feel myself slowly coming out of it, but when I was in it, it was almost impossible to be convicted in God's light, to be convicted in the truth that these thoughts were not true, that these energies inside of me were not true. Where was my conviction? Where was the absolute knowingness, unshakable belief that it was not true? Where was that? It wasn't there. That's okay. It's fine by me because I'm learning conviction. I'm learning that unshakable belief in, for me, Yeshua. For you, it could be the thoughts. It could be behavioral patterns, right? Meaning that you believe that these behavioral patterns are more powerful than your divinity. These traumas are more powerful than your divinity. Your limiting beliefs, your lack is more powerful than your divinity. It's the same thing, truly. We believe what the world has programmed us into, the inverted reality, the inorganic reality, going backwards in Monopoly. We're going the wrong direction in Monopoly, and we're told this is the right direction. And what's happening on the planet right now is that we are being turned around by the light of God and saying, "You've been going in the wrong direction, sweetheart. Turn around. Come back to your home. Come back to your essence, your divinity. Those thoughts are not you. Those behaviors are not you. That lack isn't you. That pain isn't you. That calm you feel, that's you. That peace you feel, that's you. That safety you feel, that's you." And you're like, "Yeah, but." That's the non-conviction part, right? "Yeah, but." "Yeah, but what about this? Yeah, but what about that? Yeah, but this. But then I have this. But then I have this," etc. And then you're pulled out of conviction. You're pulled out of your truth, your authenticity, your divine essence of God in form that you're learning how to navigate back into. Everything starts to become very simple. Everything starts to become very simple. There's not all these hoops you have to fly around and do. There's not all these classes and courses that you need to take. There's not all these modalities that you have to do any longer as we start to hold conviction in our divine essence, conviction in God within us, conviction in God coming into us, conviction in the light of God, unshakable belief. There is nothing more powerful that will change your life than conviction. And we are fighting against that. There is a tug of war right now against that. And so everything in this inverted world that we're in, it's going to pull us out of that. It's going to pull us through distraction, through entertainment, through a low attention span. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. Um, Through temptation, and then you grab that temptation, and now you feel great, so you want more, and then you feel great, and you want more, and then you feel great, and you want more, which is a key, a way of how they control us. And when I was sitting with with Jesus today, not only did he say conviction, but then he said the 3 S's, Lorie, and I said, "What are the 3 S's?" And he said, "Stillness." So, basically, the things that we to assist us in, conviction: stillness, silence, and service. So, in stillness, you'll find a little break in the chaos. You'll find a little break in the programming. You'll find a little break in the robotic behaviors they're trying to get you to be in. There's a little break, right, in stillness, which means you're just not doing anything for a moment. You're just in stillness. And then he doubled down and he said silence. So not only are you slowing down and not doing things, but now you're actually turning everything off. So there's no meditation music, there's no meditation, there's no sounds, there's no nothing. Just silence. And then service. So moving the awareness from I and me to others. So maybe it's as simple as thanking someone for being in your life. Somebody that's always, I've got an amazing, incredible woman who every once in a while messages me on Instagram, and I've met her once. She lives in another country, and she messages me just reminding me of how incredible I am and how courageous I am, and to keep going and And I rarely do I let her know just how important those messages are, right? And so today I was like, that's I'm gonna tell her really what that means to me, how important it is. Sometimes I think we don't realize that we aren't actually sharing everything with people, like, meaning I don't mean your world, but, like, how they impact you, what they mean to you, and what it means, right? Maybe there's a barista that always says your name, right? He or she always remembers you, and you just take it like it's no big deal. It's like, no, that's a big deal. It's simple, but it's a big deal. A service, an act of service would be letting that person know, like, "It really means a lot that you do that, thank you," because it gives something they receive that. That's service, right? When Jesus says service, he's not talking about, like, go and, like, save an animal, although that would be awesome, right? Or I don't know. There's a thousand ways that we can be of service. Sometimes it's truly as simple as thanking the people closest to you, letting them know how important they are, letting them know how their presence matters to you. And why Jesus brings up service in this, in the three, in the stillness, silence, and then service is because many times, if we can stay sort of centered in the self, then it perpetuates um, a sense of I don't want to say grandiose about who we are, right? But it exacerbates the importance of who we are. Like, yeah, we want to navigate life. Yeah, we want to move into more of an embodiment with God. And yeah, but what's more important is our impact in the world. What's more important is how we are um, sharing ourselves with the world. That it's almost like when you can pull yourself out of the grips of that inverted reality and you can begin to find stillness and silence, then you can shift this, like, me, I perspective to the action, which is outward. The action, serve. And it has this, like, beautiful ripple effect when you serve. It actually ignites, like, your divine genome, that particle of light within you. It activates it. It increases the frequency in your body, not because you're trying to do that, but because you're shifting the focus and the awareness away from you and to the world. Serve to someone. It gets us out of that, you know, um, just always focusing on me, on I. I want to feel better. I don't want to have this. I don't want to have that, etc. So coming back to this plate, this conviction, right? Thinking about that throughout your day, conviction. Jesus could have said any word to me, any word, conviction. And he didn't add on conviction, Lorie. And I knew exactly what he meant. How am I possibly going to be able to teach his words with purity, with a pure channel, with a pure essence, if I'm allowing distortion to come in? And distortion is other people's beliefs, other people's opinions, other people's ways. And it's the same with you. How are you possibly going to understand and know your true divine way of being on this planet if you're listening to everybody else telling you, you know, or you're listening to other people's experiences and comparing it to yours, or you're believing the limiting thoughts, right? You're believing the past trauma. You're believing it all. One of the greatest things about the teachings that Jesus has for us is that it literally instantaneously dissolves, disintegrates the deep, deep programming of how we have learned how to fix and heal ourselves. It's like a magic pill that, like, dissolves it all, and not because we are bypassing it, but because it's never been the natural state, ever. We've never been living the natural state the last 7,000 years. So what Jesus does when he comes in, he tries to rattle the cages in a sense, right? He rattles the world with his teachings. His teachings should be rattling, they should be radical because they're trying to pull humanity out of the numb circling of uh, counterclockwise motion that we've been in. Literally, every single thing that we have learned how to be in this world has been inverted for the most part. Like there's another way of being in it, there's another way of experiencing it, there's another way of seeing it, and it's from the lens of God. Godliness embodied and integrated into the body. And so you have to start looking around saying, huh, is that inverted? Is everything inverted? Yeah, it is. So everything's, if it's inverted, that means everything's designed to keep me out of that alignment with God. So then it becomes, okay, what if God was here right now in this experience, in this equation, like we talked about last time or the time before that? What if God was in those thoughts that I'm believing? What if God was in those behaviors that I was doing? What if God was in that addiction that I was doing? What if God was trying to move through that, arise within that? What would it do? What if when God arises within all of that, it dissolves it? Not necessarily overnight, but it starts to dissolve the way in which we've been programmed to chip away at it ourselves, heal it ourselves, fix it ourselves. So how do you do that? Of course, you start keeping your lens on God. You get curious about God. You start asking God. You start bringing God in. You start asking for the light of God, that holy light to come in. You start deciding, well, you know what? Maybe this is all inverted. Hmm, what happens if I do start doing that more and more? Choosing to turn around. What if I choose to turn around? Go the opposite direction with your thoughts. Not because you're going to positive think your way or do the neuroplasticity thing, although those all work, but because you're going to just turn around and choose God. I'm going to turn around from those thoughts. God, show me how you see me. God, show me the pure thoughts. God, show me how you would see this behavior in me right now. God, show me how to be in this right now. God, show me how to respond in this right now. God, show me how to move this emotion through me right now. You're turning yourself around from this counterclockwise road and path that you've been on. And you start to go the other direction, which means that you are literally letting go and letting God. You let go, let God, let go, let God, let go, let God. And what you'll find as you start playing in this is that the inverted reality, the counterclockwise way in which we've been positioned into this game, doesn't want you to go that new organic reality way, the true reality way, right? The way we're designed to be. So it'll pull you. That's where the infiltration comes in, right? It pulls you. Are you sure? I don't think so. It'll bring somebody into your life that will make you question, that will get you confused, that will say, huh, that's weird. Maybe that is that true? Confusion is one of the greatest tools used on the planet. Confusion is underrated. It's underrated because of the power that it has in pulling you away from truth, your aligned truth with God. All you have to do is hear one person say something that creates confusion, and you're just like, "What the freak? What? Wait a second." Now you're navigating what's mine, what's theirs, what is that true? Is my truth? Like, what is all this? And sometimes their truth is designed to wake you up to see truth, right? Wow, never thought of it like that. You're right. Thank you. Sometimes it's to bring you into deeper confusion. And so you learn how to navigate that. If it doesn't feel right, if something feels off about that confusion, that's the pull. That's the magnet trying to pull you out of alignment, pull you away from that conviction of your knowingness of this God essence coming in. Because I'm gonna tell you a little something, a little secret before we go. The more, my friend, that you choose to integrate the divine light of God into your body, and may you keep doing that. The more you do that, the more you will see the inverted matrix, the inverted reality around you. And the more that you may notice the magnet pulling you back. And so think about the one word Jesus said to me today, conviction. Imagine he's saying that to you. Conviction. Have absolute, unwavering faith in this new path that humanity is slowly going to begin to walk down. Conviction that you are an aspect of God, that God's light resides within you, that you do need to pull in that pure, divine, holy light into the body, and that you are naturally designed to live very differently than how you live right now. Where's your conviction in that? Allow yourself to see the impure, like the inorganic, the fake. The whole world is turning more and more fake, like just false, like just very inauthentic. Allow yourself to see that, because the more you see it, the more you'll be able to pull yourself out of it. And a lot of people won't want to see it, because when you see it, you will have to kind of change the trajectory of your life. You'll change the way you've been navigating life, perhaps the way you are in relationships or the way you are in with your career or money, health, all kinds of things will start to change when you start to no longer be able to walk the inorganic path. It doesn't feel right. Then you'll start searching out for that organicness, that authenticity is organic. Oh, an authentic person, right? An authentic voice, an authentic truth. You'll start searching for that more and more, craving it. Just like you start craving the light of God because it's so pure, it's so true, so full of light. And so no more and more you'll start to notice the world is becoming more fake, false, robotic, disconnected from emotion. You know, everything is the same, like do this, everyone's trying to be the same. It's like the same patterning, the same behaviors, the same it's like you don't even realize it's happening. In like authenticity is it's hard to come by because we've been slowly programmed into being the way the world wants us to, with all the ways that the world tells us how to be, especially if you have a business that is in social media. You'll notice that. Conviction. Let's go back to conviction. Conviction, conviction, conviction. So when you have those thoughts or those behaviors or whatever it is, right? Conviction is choosing to remember, choosing to know that that's not your natural state. That's it. Just know that, and you're just start there. It's not my natural state. You don't even need to try to move into your natural state, because your natural state comes online when you start choosing the natural state, meaning this is not my natural state, which means you're naturally choosing your natural state. All you have to do is say, this is not my natural state, and watch things change. That's it. Things will start to change. This is not my natural state. This is not natural. It's not natural. Then you start inviting God in even more. Conviction with God. God, show me. God, walk with me. God, talk with me. It's insane what's happening on the planet. It's insane in a good way. In a good way. Um, all right, you guys. So just know if you're feeling a lot of, um, if you're feeling attacked, if you're feeling really, really attacked right now, um, yeah, just give yourself grace. Try your hardest to focus on God, focus on Jesus as much as you can. Um, if you have anybody that is non-judgmental and can listen to you and help you sort of see the other path, the other way, try to get on a call with someone to kind of shift you, help you shift out of it. Um, I also played the 932, the pure 932 hertz. I did that yesterday for 2 straight hours. Um, yeah, just be careful who you're around, what you're around. Um, Sometimes the best thing to do is to kind of not be around a lot because it might make it even worse. Um, Keep talking to God, keep talking to Jesus. Don't stop talking to Jesus, don't stop talking to God. Um, Nonstop talk to them. Nonstop bring Jesus in. Um, yeah, it goes away. It goes away. Thank God it goes away. But yeah, if that's you right now, you're not alone, but bring him in, bring Jesus in more, 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 more. The closer we get to God, really, the real like real tangible God, the closer we get to this, the more we understand how to break out of it, the more we understand how to start living with this tangible light. It's possible some of you will get more attacked, some of you will get less attacked. Um, but life changes a little bit. So bring them in, bring them in, you know. Don't don't get too caught up in, like, everything's bad, everything's a conspiracy, and you don't wanna go too far down the rabbit hole of, like, every hurts is bad and everything's out to get me. Try not to do that. Um, try to lighten up a little bit. Try to imagine, like, if Jesus was in front of you, what he would say. Try to just imagine. You don't have to hear him, but just imagine what he would say to you. Right? Sometimes that's a fun game to do. What would he say to you if he was here right now? Um, is this different than being tested, Barbara? I mean, it's you're being tested. I think it's the same, you're being tested. Um, but you're also not being tested. So what I mean by that is you're being tested in the sense that you're going to learn better ways of navigating it. Okay. But it's not happening to test you, okay? It's happening literally to keep you away from God, period. It is not a lesson. It is not advancing your soul. It's a battle. So it is literally pulling. It's like we don't like this is gonna we need you away from that. How like and you're like, well, what does it matter? It's just one person. It's an energetic collective experience that's happening. So it's like it's going to happen to a lot of people because they're in the collective field. It's not like it's pinpointing people. It's just it's almost like a network, an energetic network where if something is off frequency, it's gonna come in and ping it to bring it back into that other frequency, okay? So it's not like it's like, "Oh, well, why does it care what I'm doing?" It doesn't. It cares what the collective energy is doing, and so if there's a ping off of a frequency that's shifting because it's finding God, it's gonna go in and try to pull that back. So it's not doing that to test you. It's part of the matrix. It's part of how this collective energetic grid has been set up right now. And so you finding God, it's almost like it sets off a little alarm. Ding 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 ding. And then these energetic grids are like boop, ping, ping, ping. And the pinging is the attack. The pinging is the infiltration. And then you're like, something feels very, very, very off. Something is not right, and you can tell, and it's not normal, and you can't describe it, and it's funky, and people think you're crazy, and you're not. So it's a test in the sense that you're learning how to navigate those pings, those energetic attacks, but it's not set up to be a test. Prayer helps a lot, 100%. When we struggle with trauma, anxiety, and depression, can these attacks be more likely to happen? Um, what it does is it because you've experienced more, a higher degree of anxiety and depression, what these pings, let's call them a ping, what they do is that they will amplify that. Okay, so what they do when you get pinged, when you get attacked, it amplifies your most insecure thoughts. It amplifies your most intense emotional states you can't stand. It amplifies addictive behaviors. It amplifies the things that you don't like. It amplifies the things that you've worked so hard to heal. It amplifies those things. So it's not that it happens more to you, Elisa. It just it amplifies it. So if it wasn't anxiety and depression, it may amplify something else, a limiting belief, right? So it just feels like it's happening more to you, perhaps, um, but it's probably happening to a lot of us, and we just think it's limiting beliefs, you know, um, or we just think it's, you know, m- and, a lack of boundaries or whatever it may be, you know. And I definitely want to be clear on this. I am not saying that what a lot of people are experiencing is attacks because it's not. It's not at all. When you are attacked, you really know you're attacked. It's a very clear, obvious experience. And I will share the details of my attack at another time to give a real clear distinction between an attack and just infiltration or just life, just experiencing life, just doing life, right? Just being in life is very, it's chaotic as well sometimes, but there's nothing more beautiful. I want to leave with this word of conviction and just knowing there is nothing more powerful, nothing more beautiful than the light of God. There is nothing more amazing than walking this path with Jesus. There is nothing more simple than understanding that all the different paths that I've ever been on has led me back to this one simple truth that the holy light of God is designed to rain back down into my body, that I am designed to naturally integrate that light into my body, that it is something that needs to come back in, and that Yeshua, Jesus, this amazing, incredible, unbelievably potent man slash energy is designed to walk us right back into this. And It is an absolute truth. It is the way, and it will give you life. And for somebody that has been, you know, in the quantum field uh, space that teaches all about the complexities and the quantum perspective of how this whole thing works, it's the lens I use. Um, it is very humbling to realize that this entire matrix is designed to walk us back into the simplicity and pure truth of God in form, navigating a human experience with the assistance of Yeshua. And that if we do that, we break free. And then everything else becomes popcorn in watching a movie. Everything else just becomes the way it's designed to be, the TV show. But nothing is a TV show if we still believe that we are in that TV show. We have to break out of it. All right, you guys, conviction. Take that with you today. Take that with you today. Do you still get pinged? Has the negative energy given up on you because of your practices? Um, it depends. I mean, I got attacked the last 4 days, one of the worst attacks I've ever had, which I'll share, but before that I was fine. Everything was fine. Life was great. I was vibing high. So they come and go. I assume they come and go. I'm assuming they stop for sure. Um, I believe that they stop, and I believe that everybody experiences them differently. I believe that some people will never experience them and they don't need to. Some people will experience them. Some people will have different levels of it. Some people will never, ever have to, and they will just be integrating light and walking with Jesus and talking with God and embodying God and never have an infiltration or an attack. Right? It's black. It's not black or white. It's very gray in there. So no matter what my experience is or anybody else's experience with Jesus, with God, with infiltration, with attacks, it doesn't mean it's the way it is. It just means that it's their way. That's really important, right? You don't need to squeeze your experience into somebody else's just because they're experiencing it. You know, don't try to say, "Oh, there must be something wrong with me because I'm not being attacked." No, be grateful. "Oh, I must not be integrating God if I'm not being attacked." No, you're just not being attacked. Hallelujah. Right? We do this weird, funky thing in our head where we're like, well, this must mean that I should, or maybe that's what my experience is. And unfortunately, that's what we do. It's difficult not to. But this is just a little a little tidbit to take with you that no one's experience needs to be your experience. Your experience gets to be your unique experience. The conviction of God is all that matters. The conviction of Jesus is all that matters. And let your experience be your experience. Always go back to Jesus. Always go back to God. Always go back to God. Ask God. Be with God. God is the truth. God is the light. God is purity. Nobody else is more pure, clean, clear, aligned as God. Go to that before anything else, and you'll have the answer. So then it just becomes, well, how do I hear God? Stillness and silence, over and over, over and over, over and over. We'll do another class on really, how do I listen to God? How do I hear God? What is God? Where is God? I can't hear it. But the more that we place idols as other people as idols, the farther we are from God. Nobody is more powerful than God. Nobody has the answers before God. No one, no teacher, no famous person, nobody. It's a big, huge part of the backward inverted reality is that we place idols in other people, meaning we place other people above and beyond God. That is the inverted reality. That is how we've lived. We believe other people before we just go straight to God and find out from God. And I understand it, but it's inverted. Conviction. Conviction. What is my truth? What is mine? And then what happens is that mine, meaning my alignment with God. What is Jesus saying with all of this? right? And then it becomes then you start feeling more free no matter what anybody's experience is. You're not trying to gauge it against your own. And then we start walking around as true sovereign divine beings, aligning with the same God, but having our own unique experience, not needing to fit in to anyone else's experience. All right. I love you guys. And let me know in the comments down below. First of all, subscribe to the channel so then you'll know when I go live. And then let me know in the comments down below what subjects you want me to talk about. What do you want me to go deeper into? What are you needing more support around? Um, yeah, what's going on in your world and how can we, Yeshua and I, support you? Let God be our filter. Amen. Let God be our filter. Uh, amen to that. I love you guys. I'll see you next time. Mwah. Take care.